Okay, y'all. So I was gonna do a post, but I felt like a video is more effective because I wanted to have a little bit more time. I didn't feel like typing everything I wanted to say. So I want to tell you about my testimony. Um, Maybe it help some people. Maybe it might give you some faith, encouragement um, to hear from somebody else. You know, I'm hot. See me sweating. Sorry, I had to turn my air down a little bit. I moved to Texas in 2015. Still finding myself. I had just left a good job in Indiana where I was working with CPS. Um, about 2 and almost 3 year mark. But I decided to move to Texas. I have family here in Texas, in Dallas specifically, and I did that because I wanted to put myself in an uncomfortable situation. So I moved to Texas with no job, zero. I was fortunate to have a good friend who's now like a brother to me, who was moving to Texas as well. His family was already here, and so we moved together. And he, in times where I was still trying to make sure I was good, he held it down. So I gotta give him his props, Xavier. And then. But I always kept the job. So I moved down here. Became a substitute teacher in Dallas, and then I moved on to the Benchmark Family Services foster care agency. However, in a month they demoted me because I hadn't gotten the concept of what they wanted me to do in the month, 30 days, right? So I absolutely quit that job. I thought that was very, very. For one, I thought it was very unprofessional. Secondly, I thought it was racism in that situation. Because I was a black guy in a very good position, and they just thought they were trying to pick with me. So I moved on to doing a sales job. That was horrible. Didn't make any money in a sales job. So I unfortunately had met somebody I was talking to. Aunt got me a job with this bus district, school district with buses. I drove the buses for dang near 3 or 4 months before I got back to CPS in Texas. What a blessing. I worked there for almost over 2.5 years, almost 3 there. That job was a lot of ups and downs. I loved working with Texas CPS. It was great, but I also had some experiences with a program director who did not really like me, probably because of the fact that I was we didn't get along in some areas, and I think that she was upset with me because I didn't like the way things was being ran, so I did report some things to her boss, and so ultimately I believe she retaliated. But I got put on a written warning and this, that, and the other. Nothing major, but yeah. So that job was definitely not a great experience. I left that job moving. And I decided to move to Houston because I wanted to further. For those who know me, they know that I wanted to teach. I've been wanting to teach since I was a kid. So I used to play school with my family, my cousins, and all that. And I would be the teacher. And my major was education in college, and so I changed it to sociology. I got discouraged. I think it was just a lot. I think I got discouraged. I decided to go ahead and leave that field and do sociology. I mean, every experience happens for a reason. So I believe that it happened for a reason. And I decided to leave it for a reason. All lessons learned. God has a path for everyone. Everyone's path is different. I just took that as as experience for me, because then I had to work harder, right? So I was working on my certification while I was in Dallas. I wanted to be a PE teacher. My master's degree is in physical education and sport administration. I've coached basketball for years, but I have not gotten a PE job. I have not done anything, and I've been wanting to get PE forever. So I came down here to focus that I was going to pass this test, the PE test, which I did. And I started my applications again and process of interviewing for PE jobs again last year in 2019. So mine just started about 2016, 17 when I started my certification. When I started applying, I was attending a lot of hiring fairs for Dallas, for a long time. I'm going through the process. I'm probably like 2 years going back and forth to interviews, or not interviews, but hiring fairs and getting told, you don't have this done yet, or you don't have you shouldn't just do PE because PE is a very competitive field and you need other content, and this being turned around over and over and over and over again, right? So I moved down here to Houston with a focus like, I'm going to be a PE teacher. So I did pass the test. I went through the application process again hiring season last year, 2019, hiring season, and I did not get anything for PE. So if anybody don't know me, they know that I can put a smile on my face all day long, but I can go through a struggle. And 2019 was perhaps my biggest struggle year I've had in a long time, because I left CPS and Texas, in Dallas, took a pay cut, a huge pay cut to go, and I went to come here. So I moved here and I took a pay cut here, and it was an experience because I went to Harris County Juvenile Probation. It was a good experience, another experience under my belt, working with children and at-risk youth and at-risk families and higher need communities. I've done this for a long time, so I was used to it. Here's my pool, y'all. Isn't it so nice? I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like, I want to turn it around, but can't even get in the dang pool. Yeah, that's my view. So anyway, yeah, it was a struggle. I took a pay cut going to Harris County Juvenile, and that experience was kind of crazy. I had an issue with a kid. We got into, I guess he pretty much had physically assaulted me, so I went on physical therapy for a while. It was kind of crazy, right? So it was a crazy year. Not to mention I took a pay cut going there, a huge pay cut, and still trying to live within a decent means. And so, one thing I would say is I have never, ever, ever, ever gone without. My family has been there for me. I have close friends, especially my ones in Dallas, who's been there for me. Even if I needed something, which I barely ever call anybody for anything, because I don't, unless it's my mom or my dad or something, because I don't believe in nobody helping me out unless I absolutely need it, or my grandma. Those three are the people I probably lean on the most, because they've been there for me. So, but I have friends who I know I can call if I needed something. So, but nonetheless, it's been a struggle. So I remember times for those who don't know, I've always been involved in church. I've always gone to church since probably high school. I joined a choir in Dallas at Friendship West, and then I came here, joined Wheeler Avenue, and I joined the choir here at Wheeler Avenue. And that's honestly been the thing that kept me going, is my faith, my spirituality, and my determination, I guess, has kept me going, because I've been times in the choir stand where I just let it go, crying. People would not know what I was going through, unless you're my close friend or something like that, because financially I took a hit, but I've never gone without. I have a nice apartment, nice clothes, nice car, whatever. I was still living comfortably. I've never gone without, but I was very much so struggling, and it was a mental. So I got hired at Milby High School. Great principal, great school. She gave me a chance, and that was she hired me for English reading, and with the hopes I was going to pass the ELAR, English Language Arts and Reading test, and 7 through 12, and that test has been a doozy. 3 times I've taken this test and missed the last one by 5 points. Missed the last one by 5 points. You can understand my frustration. So it was hard. So I was hired I was put in the classroom where I was going to be the permanent teacher. So I was like a long-term assignment as a dedicated associate teacher. I took several pay cuts being in that position, because I took a pay cut from TPS, Texas CPS, to another pay cut going to I'm going to Harris County Juvenile, and then yet another pay cut going here to Houston ISD at Milby. So it was a struggle. It was a struggle. And like I said, I never gonna be out. I gotta say, God's been good, right? So I remain faithful. I said, flash forward to 2020. By the way, I was a reading teacher, last semester, so I did that, and then they moved me to English 1 and 2 this semester with a co-teacher, and it's been a blessing. She's been helping me out as I've been kind of learning from her, and so and I yet to pass this test. So needless to say, I remain faithful, and I decided I had some relationships I've gone through. I dated, that was up and down. I had some it was some stuff that was, that really kind of was not a roadblock, but I wasn't thinking. I want to focus on the right things. And so this semester, this year, 2020, I set some goals. You can see my little goals, my little vision board. Career, partner, build someone I can meet someone I can build with. Body goals and home and family, all these things. So career, it's all there. All the things I want to do. I know it's kind of backwards, so you probably can't even see it because I'm trying to turn around, but I can't turn the camera around right now. But yeah, that's my vision board, right? So I was going in steps. Career to partner to body goals to home. And I'm working on career and body goals and partner hand in hand, right? So then I want to get a home and all that stuff. So this year, I decided to cut some people off. So, you'll find that friends, associates, whatever label you give them, you'll find out who your real friends and associates are, I put it that way. And so I cut some people off this year because I feel like there's people that weren't really there in my corner for me, and I held on to the ones that I thought were my corner. I think I know is in my corner, my closest friends. But I made some changes, and I just kind of said this year I'm gonna focus on myself. I'm not gonna do no more events. Not gonna do no more. I may go out, but I'm not gonna be hosting and things like that. Just things that I was doing before because I feel like I gotta focus on myself. So I guess Corona was a time for me to really focus because I hit the ground running with the applications and I had a whole Excel sheet of all the schools, districts I applied to, the emails and contacts when I was going to reach out to them, how I was going to reach out to them, whatever. I had a whole follow-up, everything, dates and interviews and all that was set. I was gonna hit the ground running this semester, and I've yet to pass this test yet, right? So I'm gonna keep telling you this, right? Because I'm gonna show you how God is, how good God is, right? And so, yes, I passed PE, but my goal has been to get into PE this year. The goal is always going to be the same. I always want to get into PE and get back into coaching and all that stuff. So, nonetheless, yeah, I got a call. I went on to a hiring fair, online, virtual. So Corona's turned it into virtual, right? And I was able to meet with a recruiter from the school district, and I talked to them. And I told them how much I really wanted it. He put me on with the school nearby, and it went from there. Like literally, the school was 10 minutes from my house. Like it's that close. And versus where my current school is at, where I'm going almost an hour away. Well, it's a 30-minute drive, but it's with traffic, it's like an hour, right? So it's crazy, right? So 10 minutes, right? God is so good. So So the moral of the story was I got connected with the principals and the school leaders, and I did a virtual interview. I had to create a lesson online. I create a lesson through a video, and I pretty much taught a fake class. It was so funny, but it was cool. I did an interview with them. I did some simple lesson plans, all kind of stuff, right, for them, and they just fell in love with me, and I fell in love with them. So the good news is, throughout this coronavirus, I have been hired with KIPP. And I've been wanting for years to get into KIPP. And so through the struggle, through the pain, through the hurt, God was already blessing me and making that pathway without passing that test. And guess what? I'm going to pass this test. I have to pass it before the end of the first year. I'm hired full time now, and I'm going to be starting in end of July, bringing my talent and love and passion to KIPP. And I cannot wait to be a blessing continue to be a blessing to these at-risk, higher need communities and all of them, all kids. But I just know this is my calling, my passion, and so I am very much so happy to announce that I am working with KIPP full time, and through the struggle for 3 years trying to get into education and then taking pay cuts and moving and going through it and having breakdowns and my friends will tell you I have had breakdowns, and so but I cannot forget my friends in Dallas, my friends, some associates who could make me more wiser, and without even knowing they made me more wiser and more hip to the game because of their actions. And for my my family, I love all y'all, and anybody that's close to me has been there for me. I appreciate y'all for everything and going through with me, because God is so good. And yes, I'm in Wheeler Avenue, I'm in choir here. I remain very much so faithful, and my relationship is maintained with God and Jesus. And I want y'all to understand that y'all be worried about the wrong things. Y'all be, Maurice, why are you going to kickbacks? Why are you hosting gatherings? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that with coronavirus around? I get it. It's dangerous, right? And so I can get sick, and I get it. But at the same time, I'm not going to live my life in fear, because God has done so much for me. I've been through it all. At this point, whatever God has for me is for me. People have been putting on gloves and putting on masks and washing their hands every 10 minutes, staying in the house and doing this, and still getting coronavirus. See my point? So you have to have faith. And one thing about me is that you're gonna say if Maurice ain't gonna he'll never always say that Maurice lived his best life, period. Because I'm not gonna let nothing that God has not created to sit here and terrorize me and my fear. I'm not gonna let coronavirus put me in a position where I've let go of my faith. And I know people saying, well, you can have faith, but you still gotta be safe. Yeah, I get it. But at the same time, I'm still here, right? Still here so far, and God is good, and I'm gonna keep on to that. Some people, like I said, people are dying who've been doing everything right. So it's just a matter of time. It's your time, it's your time, And so that's what I'm saying. Have faith. My testimony, have faith. Because you can go, like I said, I moved here with no job, with a goal of getting into education. When I moved to Texas in general, I moved to Houston, took a pay cut, a big pay cut, a huge pay cut. Family held me down. I worked, so I hustled. Last year I was driving Lyft, painting walls, whatever I had to do, to keep income the way I wanted it to be, so I can live somewhat to a comfortable level. And so I hustled, and this year I haven't been able to do Lyft, or this last 2 months I haven't been able to do Lyft because of Corona, but things came through. The government, not Trump, gave us a check. And so, yeah, everything's good. Everything's good, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to be a blessing to your lives. I hope that y'all take this seriously. Do not give up on your dreams. Do not settle. And always put yourself in an uncomfortable situation to get yourself in where you want to go. When you're comfortable, you're never going to go higher than that. Put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. I was in a very uncomfortable situation last year, but it pushed me to work harder on myself and cut things loose that I was doing that I didn't need to have, and negativity people that was around me, cut them out. You don't need them. They don't need them in your life. Just cut them out, or distance yourself from them. Social distance, right? Or make them associates. Whatever you gotta do, to better yourself, better you. Focus on you. And that is my testimony. So here I am, about to begin a new journey. Going from HISD to KIPP, and I'm so excited to be a part of KIPP, and it's going to be a very exciting situation. So, thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you soon.